The tropics are definitely the big story as we are waiting for potential tropical cyclone number 9 to officially become tropical and get the name tropical storm Helene. But here's a check of those sea surface temperatures, and as you can see, those numbers are into the mid and even upper 80s, indicated by those areas of purplish coloring and closer to Cuba, where again those numbers are kind of flirting with 90. So again, the waters are very warm and supportive for tropical cyclone development. So again, we do have potential tropical cyclone number 9 in the northwestern Caribbean Sea, and it's dealing with some wind shear, so it's been a little asymmetric. So that's why it has not officially gained tropical characteristics yet in terms of fully taking that switch over or transition to become tropical storm Helene, because the hurricane hunters are finding a hard time getting that closed circulation. So right now, max sustained winds of 35 miles per hour, but once it does get that closed circulation, that well-defined center, it will become tropical storm Helene, and then from that point it is going to enter the Gulf of Mexico. We're expecting that to take place on Wednesday, and then at that point it could become a hurricane and rapidly intensify because of the very warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico that could support its thriving along with the upper level atmospheric setup. So again, it could become a major hurricane and then eventually weaken as it moves inland. Here's a look at some of the spaghetti plots agreeing that around the Big Bend of Florida or anywhere between Panama City and Tampa, that's a good location for possible landfall. However, depending on where the actual center is, once the hurricane hunters do find that center of circulation, that could shift the forecast track a bit. So we'll continue to monitor that. Nonetheless, though, this is one particular forecast model, the European, and it has it moving into the Gulf of Mexico, again entering it by Wednesday, moving towards that Big Bend of Florida area. This is an upper level feature, and it's going to move inland, and a lot of that moisture is going to get kind of caught up in that upper level low, and it's going to keep a lot of the south a little bit on the dreary side. The GFS model somewhat agrees on that same setup, again moving inland around that Big Bend of Florida area, and then moving inland around places like Georgia and the Carolinas. Rainfall estimates with this system anywhere from 5 to 8 inches on the higher end, and then it's obviously bringing some rain well inland, possibly to places like Atlanta, maybe up towards Nashville, as that moisture gets caught up in that upper level flow. Locally for us, though, we're not expecting too much from this system. We could see a little bit on Thursday, but more so our rain is going to come from a cold front and an upper low. What you're looking at here, this is the tropical storm wind forecast. Again, we're not expecting much more than maybe a brief wind gust. Our chances for that, though, will be less than 10%. So it looks like our impacts from Helene, or soon to be Helene, should be minimal based on the way things look now, but stay tuned for updates. Here's that cold front that's going to be moving in, and once it does cross, our temperatures go down to become more fall-like. We're going to get out of the 90s after tomorrow. We're talking 70s and 80s in terms of our temperatures going forward. But for tomorrow, carry the umbrella. We'll have a chance for some showers, a few around that drive time, but rain becomes more likely Tuesday evening. Here's 10 o'clock, and then heading into your Wednesday, again affiliated with the cold front and not from that tropical system. Right now, temperatures are into the widespread 70s, 75 for Meridian. We have 77 for Quitman. Our lows will be in the upper 60s tonight. And here's that 10-day forecast at 10. It's sponsored by the Stephen Wilson Law Firm. Again, rain chances ramping up towards Thursday and then ramping down by the weekend, although we could have a few showers by Sunday. But cooler temperatures are on the way.